What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports, and I'm back to you guys with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 teams that should trade for quarterback Josh Rosen. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL videos and content. And let's get into it. So, Josh Rosen, a lot of people give him a lot of flack, and I think that's just because he's a very cocky guy. But I mean, it's a lot of cocky quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, when you play that quarterback position, you got to have some kind of arrogance, some kind of cockiness to your personality. Tom Brady is a little cocky. Aaron Rodgers is a little cocky. The best quarterbacks are a little bit cocky, and Josh Rosen, he's that. I mean, this past season, he passed for 2,278 yards, had 11 touchdowns to 14 interceptions, completed 55.2% of his passes. So he didn't have the best rookie season, but I mean, this guy, I don't even believe he was the starting quarterback going into the year. I believe Sam Bradford was, but I guess Sam Bradford got injured or something like that. So Josh Rosen ended up becoming the starting quarterback, and he was set up to fail from the get-go. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals, the only thing that they had on their offense was Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald. Those were the only 2 wide receivers that they had. The offensive coordinator that they had was unable to somehow find a way to get David Johnson the ball. And a big reason for that was because of how terrible the offensive line was. And the Arizona Cardinals had the worst offensive line in all of the NFL. So Josh Rosen was set up to start. And now the Arizona Cardinals are looking to trade Josh Rosen for a reportedly first-round pick. I don't believe that they will get that. A lot of teams have already offered them second-round picks. But the first team that I feel that should trade for Josh Rosen is the New York Giants. Now, the New York Giants are in the market for a quarterback that can soon become the successor for Eli Manning. And Josh Rosen could do that, and it could all come at the price for an early second-round pick or next year's first-round pick. They don't have to give up a first-round pick in this year's draft. I think they would be satisfied if they get a first-round pick of next year's draft or an early second-round pick, and the New York Giants have that. And if the New York Giants do trade for Josh Rosen, then that means they can focus on other things like finding a solid edge rusher with that 6th overall pick, and maybe trying to find another cornerback with that 17th overall pick. So trading for Josh Rosen for the New York Giants opens up a lot of things that they could do in the first round. Instead of wasting that on the quarterback, they can just end up using that and drafting some other positional needs. So second team I have on this list is the Miami Dolphins. Now, they are already announced that they are in rebuild mode, and they did sign Ron Fitzpatrick, and they traded away Ryan Tannehill. Now, Ron Fitzpatrick is no long-term starter. He only signed a 2-year contract, so I'm taking that the Miami Dolphins are looking to tank for 2 years. I don't believe they will draft a quarterback in this year's draft. I believe they want Tua Tagovailoa in next year's draft or a quarterback from next year's draft class. But why tank when you can just go ahead and trade a second-round pick for Josh Rosen? Go ahead and get him. And then, you guys can just tank with Josh Rosen or let him sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick for a year, and you have your quarterback of the future. And then you can focus on other needs instead of just trying to find tanking for a quarterback. Maybe you can tank for another good player or something like that. So the Miami Dolphins will be a good fit. Another good team would be the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the LA Chargers have been looking for a couple of years now to find Phillip Rivers' next successor, and they do have Tyrod Taylor. I know somebody's going to say that in the comment section, but Tyrod Taylor is, in his 30s, I believe, like 30 years old or 29, somewhere along that line. Tyrod Taylor is not a franchise quarterback, but he is a solid backup. Now, Josh Rosen would be a great fit for the LA Chargers because not only does he get to sit behind and learn from Phillip Rivers, but he also gets a little bit more time to develop, and he will actually have a solid offensive line with a solid coaching staff. And this would be a good place, and who wouldn't want to play in LA? I believe he was born in California, so he would be near home. Family gets to come to every game and see him play. So that would be a good spot for Josh Rosen. And The LA Chargers trading for Josh Rosen will also be a good trade. Now, the fourth team I have on this list is the Denver Broncos. Now, the Denver Broncos, they're interesting because they already had Joe Flacco, but John Elway, I mean, he's under a lot of pressure to really figure out this quarterback position, even though he just recently won the Super Bowl like a few years ago in 2015. The Denver Broncos fans are really, really putting the heat on John Elway as their general manager. He desperately needs to find a quarterback. Joe Flacco, I believe, would be okay for at least 2 years. He's not a long-term solution either because he's up there in age. And Joe Flacco, I believe, he'll probably be like a top 15 quarterback this year, but he won't be anything for the long run. Josh Rosen will be a guy who can come behind, sit behind Joe Flacco, get some development. The Denver Broncos organization, for the most part, is pretty solid management, and I think their coaching staff is going to be pretty good with Gary Kubiak as the offensive coordinator or there to help out with the offense and stuff like that. Josh Rosen can get some development in that department and hopefully become the franchise guy for John Elway, as he desperately needs to find a successful quarterback, because I don't know how this guy is a Hall of Fame quarterback and can't find a good quarterback. So Josh Rosen, hopefully he could be a good quarterback for the Denver Broncos. And the last team that I have on here, you guys already knew this was coming, the New England Patriots. Now, how often have we saw the New England Patriots take young quarterbacks in the NFL draft and have success with them and get value out of them? I mean, they drafted Jimmy Garoppolo out of Eastern Illinois a few years ago. We see what he is. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. They took Jacoby Brissett, who is probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL. And they have a great organization, great coaching staff. They're good at developing young players. And Josh Rosen would probably be a match made in heaven for the New England Patriots. And he could be Tom Brady's successor, because Tom Brady does have to eventually hang it up. He can't play football forever. And I pray that Tom Brady doesn't go out like how Brett Favre went out, because, woo, that was something gruesome. But the New England Patriots will be an ideal spot for Josh Rosen. The New England Patriots are reportedly very, very interested in Josh Rosen. They already have offered a second-round pick for Josh Rosen. And I'm eager to see if the Arizona Cardinals will actually trade him to the New England Patriots for a second-round pick. So you guys let me know what you guys think, where Josh Rosen could land in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.